Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Basic Blokes, the show that is nuttier than a squirrel orgy. I'm Dom,
I'm Eric,
and
and I brought my
today we're
nuts.
talking. Yeah, these nuts.
These nuts.
The topic of multi streaming has raised its head again. It's actually, there's a streamer, I've never met her. I believe she's from Australia. She's called I Am Fall from Grace, and she's brought up the
Yeah, she's
topic
good.
of multi streaming. Yeah, lots to talk about this one. Why is, all right, let's start at the beginning. Why did multi-streaming become this big thing? Because I'm not even sure myself.
I'm not too sure myself, but I think my personal view is it's the convenience of being on multiple platforms at the same time, thinking that we're going to get more exposure. I think that's the convenient part where people feel that they can stream on Twitch, YouTube, Kick, Facebook gaming, TikTok all at the same time and just let the restream do all the work for them. Does that make sense? I'll just sit there and stream on all these platforms and I'm going to get all these swarms of people coming in. That's the mentality when it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I remember. I s- Again, I still not. I remember though. I remember people started talking about it when contracts were starting to be spoken about. It was the platform exclusivity, and that you have
Mm.
like a 24. I'm still not sure if it exists. There's like a 24-hour period that if I'm recording on Twitch, then I cannot use that content immediately.
Mhm.
Then on another platform.
I'm not too sure because I don't restream because I, for myself, don't believe in it. I've tried it once. Yes, only once. Didn't like it.
Yeah, there are. We'll get into that in a bit. My theory
Hmm.
for why people care about restreaming so much. One is because Twitch said no, you can't do it, and therefore people are naturally going to be like, "Oh my god, you can't tell me I can't. You
They're
can't tell me what I
resilient.
want to do. I'm going
Yeah.
to stream anyway." And the other thing is, and there's this constant theme that people are looking for any reason why they're not being successful. And it's
Hmm.
just, oh, the platform's
Hmm.
not giving me
It's the
discoverability.
platform. It's the revenue. It's the time zones. It's not the shit content that I'm producing day in and day out. You know,
It makes sense though that I it
mm,
my brain would go, oh yeah, streaming to more platforms will make me seen in more places. But I guess if you're playing to five empty bars, it doesn't matter if you're one or five, you're still not really
mm.
gonna.
Sing us a
This
song, Piano Man. It's not working. Sorry. Your cup, your glass, your tip jar is still empty. But
so
look, I agree. Like with restreaming, people think they're going to get more exposure when in fact, no one knows who you are on all those platforms because you haven't made anything relevant or exciting to get that notice in the first place. And they see other people who are vastly bigger than them multi-streaming and think that they're doing it, I should do it, or see maybe other people who are vastly more successful than them doing it. But they've already got an audience, they already got the engagement there, they already got mass numbers of people, and they don't care two shits who's watching because they're getting people coming in and out constantly. But when you got zero views or not many, and then you expect, I know a couple of people who multi-stream, and I can add on my hand on how many people are watching on all platforms. That's Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch. There's just a handful of people. So all that resources is a waste of time. It's a waste of time.
so
Absolute waste.
let's step away from the people who aren't getting any
Mhm.
views whatsoever. And let's move into the realms of people who do have views. If we use you as a case study, you range anywhere between 50 to 300 views per TikTok
Mhm.
stream at the moment, I think on
Mhm.
average. So why aren't you multi streaming?
Because I want to give 100% to my viewers. I can't do that if I'm on multiple platforms. If I'm having a chat with someone on Twitch and someone's on TikTok hearing that chat, I'm talking to someone in chat, they will be disengaged to the conversation. They don't know what I'm talking about and who I'm talking with because they can't see that other chat we were discussing. So there's a disengagement, and then I'm going to lose a potential viewer. And
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. That's why people say, why not multi-stream? I said, no, it's not for me because, and that's why it is working for me now because solely focused on doing one thing, putting 100% in one thing, and it's working for me. Am I guaranteed that's going to work for everybody? No, but it's working for me right now. 100% in one thing, my content. If I'm not streaming, I'm making content. When I'm not making content, I'm streaming. When I'm not doing one or the other, I'm doing networking. When I'm not doing that, I'm doing some social media stuff. It's go. If you're serious about it, that's what you do.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff. You almost could describe that as a full-time job.
Pretty much. I feel like I'm doing 2 jobs right now. I do, honestly, like, I'm supposed to be on holidays, and I'm doing what we're doing right now. It's work, networking. We're building more content, more stuff for people to watch, more eyes and ears to see what we're doing. This is the stuff that we do to get the notice, and you can't just flick on Restream when you got no structure there. People let's be honest, people be lazy and think that the restreams and doing all this stuff is going to work for them when in fact it doesn't.
Yeah. So
Content
I
is king.
completely content is king and volume is queen. I think you're absolutely right. I think there is one use case where I think free streaming works really well. And that's if you have, say, we're doing a podcast, or if we use the game awards, for example,
Yeah.
that those shows aren't they're more like TV. They're not they don't
Mm.
require an interaction with the audience because they're just
No.
presenting information, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, it would make sense to put yourself on multiple platforms because, well,
You're not just
why
sitting there
not,
playing a
right?
game.
Yeah,
You're giving information and you're giving your insight on certain things and topics. And then I know a lot of podcasters who do a lot of restreaming and it actually works well for them. And if you're sharing out information where it's not just, hey, look, I'm on Call of Duty and I'm going to be restreaming on YouTube and TikTok and Twitch. If you're a small streamer, good luck to that. You
yeah. I think the real. If we look at the reality of expectation for
Mm.
small streamers, right? Unless they're doing something really unique in like the actions they're performing, say that I don't know, they're juggling
Mm.
with grenades or fire torches or
Yeah,
something, just one
don't
for
go to
that
that
thing.
extreme for a sub, but yeah.
But the expectation for small streamers is that
Mm.
you go in there and you have a good one-to-one relationship, or what that they are
Yeah.
engaging with you on a personal level,
Mm.
and you're enjoying what they say. There's a real concentrated kind of interaction, I guess we'll
Mm.
call it, and that's what you've got to build on. And if you're not delivering that, if it's for me, for example, if I come along and I look at someone who's restreaming, I can smell it straight away because their best will in the world, their concentration is di- divided. Their
Yeah.
focus is divided. They're not
Yeah.
giving me that creator experience
The
that I expect for.
100%. If you're on 2 platforms, it's 50-50. If you're on 3 or 4 platforms, it's 25%. That's how I see it.
Yeah,
Because 'Cause you're on multiple things and you're trying to watch a chat and you're trying to game, you're trying to stream, and then plus if you've got people in your Discord because 'cause you're playing multiplayer, your interaction is gonna be way less. Your awareness is gonna be way less. It's gonna be all over the place. You're, like, darting back and forth to make sure your chats are seeing who's chatting where, and then you're gonna engage in that chat. I think it's not really a thing that you should be concentrating on. You should focus on I keep saying this to people. I say, "Look, what is the platform that you really wanna focus on? And go 100% on that. Just go hard and try something." But a problem with the people right now is they're afraid of failure and they're afraid of not succeeding and they're afraid to make that plunge. I have failed so many times. Like, but you learn. The more you fail, the more you learn. More you fail, more you learn.
yeah. So there's this concept of fail fast in just
Mm,
in anything general, but basically
yeah.
it's specific to content creation. It's the idea that
Mm,
you create lots and lots of content, but the content that you can create is quick to deliver to your
mhm,
audience. And then if it doesn't get views, it doesn't people
mhm.
receive it negatively, you can go, oh, okay, I did that. It didn't work.
You
Why
try
didn't
the
it
next thing.
work? Then you do the next thing and you keep going. And
Mhm,
at the moment, people are like they will invest 6 hours into a stream, which is not
mhm,
fail fast, right? Okay, rather
mhm,
than streaming for an hour or half an hour, and like, oh, I did a little
mhm,
bit of advertising, I streamed,
mhm,
oh, no one come on. Okay, let's put it away. Let's reiterate that and see
mhm,
why they'll sit there for 12 hours, 24 hours, and go, and then go, so, oh, no one's coming. And then they do it again, and no one's coming. And it's just, what point do you look at yourself and go,
mhm.
oh,
Well,
maybe I should stop doing this and try something different and then move on? This is the I honestly don't. I honestly believe that if something is going to work on streaming, on social, that you will get indicators that it's going to be a success early on. They may not be millions. May not be virality,
Mm.
but there will be signals that people are enjoying your content and they'll be
Yes, of
engaging,
course.
they'll be talking,
There's
they'll be
engagement, there's
following.
consistency, follows, and stuff like that. Yeah. If you don't see it, then you need to move on to the next thing
Yeah,
or what you need to change around. I think the problem with a lot of people is, and look, I'm just saying this stuff because I've been there myself. I've been there myself. And with streaming in content creating, it's constantly learning. It's constantly learning. You need to learn, you need to engage, you need to accept criticism as well. But you need to have a thick skin. If people say, hey, this is crap, you need to go say, okay, maybe they're right. And you need to reiterate what you need to do and work out what things you can look at and change or fix certain things. And don't be afraid for constructive criticism.
yeah, uh, yeah. I wholeheartedly agree. Now, going back to the restreaming part of it as
Hmm.
well, I think there's also, from a technical perspective as well, is that when you restream, you end up with that delay. And I remember
Mm,
like the days of Twitch when they used to get that you basically got put into a special, like the faster servers so that you'd have lower latency. And I
mm,
think, why would you want to put yourself in a position where you are like, not only has your attention divided, but you're replying to people slower because
yeah,
literally you have a proxy, right?
yeah,
You're streaming to a service, and that service is then streaming to, the main
yeah.
entities, and of course that has a delay. And I also think
Which even
there's this
slows down the response even more.
yeah, I don't want to talk to people with a lag, and that's why I
Mm,
don't want to watch people who are restreaming. Regardless, say they
yeah,
were on crack and they were talking 500 words a minute, I still don't want to listen to someone with a massive delay because it just feels
yeah,
weird, right? The other thing is there is, and we'll finish on this, is that there's this phenomenon that people seem to think that people want to watch streamers like they're fish in an aquarium. That you will, I'm on TikTok and I flick it up and I see them and they're like, they've got the camera to the side and they're just typing and there's no like professional mic and there's loads of like echoey resonance and stuff. And I was just like, why the fuck would I want to watch this million
you
Sundays? I still wouldn't find this entertaining.
there's a lot of
Like,
people out there like that who are just trying to get by until they can have access to a computer and stuff like that. So they doing I've seen some creative ones that do, but they need to work on it. Get some better microphones, some better cameras, better angles and stuff like that. There's better ways of doing it, but there's a lot of people just trying to do their own thing. But it's not really my thing either.
yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's all for this week's episode of The Basic Blokes. Thank you, everyone, for listening. If you have any thoughts on restreaming, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. But until then, have a great week and a happy new year. And we will see
Take
you
care.
in
All the best.
2020.